Welcome back to another movie review, guys, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Blues Brothers. Coming out in 1980, the film follows the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood Blues. Jake, played by John Belushi, and Elwood, played by Dan Aykroyd. The film is based off of a skit that Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi did back in the 70s on SNL, where there are these blues brothers, obviously, and, they dress like this, wearing the sunglasses. So in the film, it shows Jake and Elwood want to try to get the band back together, that I'm assuming is supposed to be the band that they had in the SNL skit, because they have the same actors and musicians that were on the SNL skit that is on the movie with them. And the beginning of the film opens up with Jake Blues being released from prison. Which is funny is because the opening makes it look like he's being sent to being executed, which I thought was pretty interesting. So the film opens up, Elwood comes to pick up Jake from being released from prison, and he shows up in this old cop car, and Jake is kind of surprised about this. He's like, where's the Bluesmobile?
What's this?
What?
This car. This stupid car.
Where's the Cadillac?
A Bluesmobile.
What I thought was funny, when Elwood tells Jake he traded the Bluesmobile for a microphone, he says he could see that. He knows he's easily swindled. But what's even more funny is that it has nothing to do with why he has the police car in the first place. Elwood claims he got it at a police auction.
I traded it.
Traded the Bluesmobile for this? Okay, I can see that.
I picked it up at the Mount Prospect City Police Auction last spring. They were practically giving them away.
So with a new cool ride, the Blues Brothers go to St. Helen of the Blessed Shroud Orphanage. That's a mouthful. To visit the Penguin, because Jake told her they would visit her when he got out of prison. The whole scene is such a hilariously disturbing scene. I love it. So at this point, you're probably thinking, what is the plot to this film? So it's explained by the Penguin that they will have to shut the orphanage down unless they pay the county $5,000 at the end of the month. Okay, simple plot. Get money to save the orphanage.
The only problem is the Penguin won't accept stolen money. So the Penguin kicks them out when they cuss at her in her presence multiple times.
Fuck you, bitch! Hey! Jesus Christ! Oh, you fat penguin!
She tells them not to come back until they change their attitudes. They go and consult their friend Curtis, who was their mentor growing up.
You're the only one that was ever good to us. Singing Elmore James tunes and blowing the harp for us down here.
And he advises them to go to church. So they go to the Triple Rock Baptist Church. Something that was cool with this film, they tried to showcase a lot of famous blues singers like Aretha Franklin and James Brown.
So Jake and Elwood go to church, and when they are there, Jake has a revelation after hearing a sermon from James Brown, and tells Elwood they need to get the band back together in order to save the orphanage. Not sure why they didn't think of that sooner, but okay. So later on, after an altercation with some cops, due to Elwood having his license suspended, leading into a really cool cop chase.
Could there be anything else?
Yes, do you have a Miss Piggy?
Elwood and Jake go back to their apartment when it is blown up with them inside by Carrie Fisher. I like to point out that in the credits of the film, it calls her Mystery Woman. Random crazy scenes like this is what I really love about this film. So after that explosive scene, Jake and Elwood go back to their apartment, which is comically tiny, by the way. Another similar funny scene the morning after, Barton Mercer, played by John Candy, who is investigating the Blues Brothers, figures out where Elwood is living. Right when he goes to break Elwood's door down, Carrie Fisher blows up their apartment, inadvertently saving the Blues Brothers. What's even more funny is that they brush it off like nothing happened.
they just get up and head off to go to their jobs. What's even funnier is that Elwood tells his boss he's quitting to become a priest. Like, he doesn't tell his boss he's quitting to do gigs. It's such a random and hilarious scene. I love it. So Jake and Elwood set out the next day to get the old band back together. The first stop is Murph and the Magic Tones, but won't join them unless they get Matt Guitar Murphy. So Jake and Elwood go to see Mr. Fabulous at a very fancy and pristine restaurant where they are served by Pee Wee Herman? What the fuck? That's kind of a random casting choice there. They cause a scene and disrupt everyone eating. And Jake does something that would definitely cause offense nowadays.
How much for the little girl? How much for the women? Your women, I want to buy your women, the little girl, your daughters. Sell them to me.
So Mr. Fabulous agrees to join the band after Jake and Elwood basically blackmail him by saying if he doesn't join them, they will eat at this restaurant every single day. Moments later, we meet one of the antagonists of the film, the local Nazi party. Yeah, the Blues Brothers ain't pulling any punches at these jokes in this film.
White men, white women, a swastika is calling you.
So naturally, the Blues Brothers interrupt their rally, pissing the Nazis off. The Blues Brothers then go to recruit Matt Guitar Murphy, also including a cameo from John Lee Hooker, singing his signature song, Boom Boom Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
There is also a cameo from Aretha Franklin, who plays Matt's wife, who doesn't want him to go with them because she needs him to stay back and run the diner. And she starts singing her very famous song, Think.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me, yeah. Oh, freedom, 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 yeah, freedom.
Amazing performance from Aretha Franklin. Obviously, Matt goes with them anyway. He also brings his saxophonist with him. The next cameo from a famous blues artist is Ray Charles. They come to him because they need to get horns and guitars for the gig. And Ray sings one of his hit songs, Shake a Tail Feather.
Well, I heard about the fella you've been dancing with all over the neighborhood. Bend over, let me see you shake a tail feather. Bend over, let me see you shake a tail feather.
So with the whole band finally back together, they now have to figure out how to get some gigs lined up. How will they do this, you might ask? Well, Jake tries to call their old booking agent, but before he can do that, Carrie Fisher shows up and blows up the phone booth. What is it with this lady? So Jake and Elwood head out with the band, but don't know where they are going because they were unable to set up a gig. So they happen upon a bar called Bob's Country Bunker. Jake was damn lucky they passed that place when he was asked about the gig. So they basically steal a gig from a country band called the Good Old Boys.
We'll be here all night. You see, we're the band.
We're the good old Blues Brothers, boys, band from Chicago. Sure hope you like our show. I'm Elwood. This is my brother Jake.
They try playing their regular set and get booed. Realizing they should probably play what the crowd wants them to play, they start playing the theme from Rawhide.
Rolling, though the streams are swollen. Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide.
I love how the crowd is still rowdy even when they're playing the stuff they like. So the Blues Brothers quickly head out when the bartender tells them they owe him $200 for their beer tab. The actual Good Old Boys start chasing them when they find out that the Blues Brothers basically stole their gig. So Jake and Elwood meet up with Maury to get gigs, but most of the venues they usually play at are now discos. So Maury tells them about an old venue called the Palace Hotel Ballroom, but they don't have any time to get anything set up or do the right exploitations. So Jake blackmails him with helping them get the gigs and the exploitations set up. So they head out to advertise their show.
Tonight only, the fabulous Blues Brothers. Rhythm and Blues Review. Tonight only, from Chicago.
Simultaneously letting everyone know who is after them know where they are playing. So it finally comes to the night of the big show, but the Blues Brothers aren't there because they ran out of gas, They stop at a gas station to fill up. They leave in a rush, not realizing that Elwood accidentally left the pump running while he was distracted by talking to a beautiful blonde woman at the gas station. While they drive away, Jake flicks a cigarette butt out the window, causing an explosion to blow up the entire gas station. Apparently, when the special effects crew were filming this, they put several gallons of gasoline in the gas station and got a bunch of sticks of dynamite and blew up the place. A really cool practical effect. While Jake and Elwood are trying to get to the gig, Curtis sings Minnie the Moocher to distract the crowd so they don't turn into a mob. Something I forgot to mention, Curtis is played by Cab Calloway, a famous blues singer from the 40s. While that's going on, Jake and Elwood sabotage everyone's vehicles so they can't follow them when they try to make their escape. The cops block all the exits, so Jake and Elwood are forced to have to enter through the ladies' room, making a really funny scene. Curtis sees Jake and Elwood hiding behind the curtains and introduces them as the Blues Brothers to the audience. Somehow Jake and Elwood were able to get past the guards and get onto the stage. Not sure how they pulled that off, guess we'll never know because the movie never answers it. They play a few more songs, like Sweet Home Chicago.
Come on, oh baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place? Sweet home, Chicago.
They use this song as a distraction to cut out after they see everyone who is after them is in the crowd. While leaving, they run into a guy who represents a record company who says he wants to record them. Wow, that was pretty damn lucky. They tell him to give the money that they owed to Ray Charles and then give the rest to the band, and they sneak out. The cops suspect something is wrong because the Blues Brothers aren't on stage. Yeah, they're long gone, buddy. Jake and Elwood run into that crazy lady again who tried to blow them up earlier in the film. It's revealed that Jake was supposed to marry her, but never showed up to the wedding. Jake comes up with every single excuse that he could think of, and while she is distracted, he kisses her and runs away. Wow, Jake is kind of a dick. The cops try going after them, but they can't because of what Jake and Elwood did to their vehicles before. Thus, we get a really cool line afterwards.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Jake and Elwood start driving to the county assessor's office. Thus, we get another really cool car chase scene.
Shit, man.
They arrive at the county assessor's office, and the Bluesmobile completely falls apart. Why this didn't happen before, I don't know. Jake and Elwood arrive just in time to pay the taxes for the orphanage, just to immediately get arrested in the next scene. The confusion on that security guard's face is priceless. I thought it was funny that when they got to the office, there was a sign that said back in 5, adding more tension to the chaos. The film ends with the Blues Brothers playing Jailhouse Rock in prison. Definitely one of the best endings to any film, period. Well, that was the Blues Brothers. This is definitely one of my favorites, if not my #1 favorite movie of all time. It has great music and great action scenes. And it doesn't have a story that takes away from the music. A simple plot with a great soundtrack. Go watch the movie and see for yourself. This movie will definitely have you dancing in your seats.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.